So what is the annual rate of interest of 265 pesos is earned in 4 months and an investment of 15,000 pesos. So first, identify the given. So first is 15,000, our present value. Second is interest, which is 265 pesos. Then using the formula, future value, or F, is equal to present value plus interest, that would equal to our maturity value. And our N, since it's months, you don't need to use 260 or something. We'll use 12 instead and assume it's 1 year. Then the rate is missing, or rate of interest is missing. Now, subject for the formula is solving for the interest rate is substitute. Using this formula for simple interest, just substitute the value, and 15,265 equals 15,000 times the quantity of 1 plus I times 4 over 12. This will be our N. Then we could get 0.053 times 100 to get our percent value, and that would equal to 5.3%. Next, a loan of 2,000 pesos is made for a period of 13 months from January 1 to Jan 31. The following year at a simple interest rate of 20%. What future amount is due at the end of the loan period? So it's asking for the future amount or the maturity value. And first, identify the given. So 2,000 pesos is that would be our principal or present value. Next is for the N is 13 months. So this will be the due. And how much money will it take? I'll grow after 13 months with an interest rate of 20%. So since all the given are good and one equation should be one missing only, one unknown, so asking for the future amount. So using the formula of simple interest, which is equal to F plus P times 1 plus quantity of IN. So F is equal to 2,000 times 1 times the quantity of 1 plus 0.2, that would be our 20%, times our N, that would be 13 all over 12, since it's months, so we're gonna use months, and that would equal to 2,433.33 after 13 months. So this is with an interest rate of 20%. So if you borrow money from a friend with a simple interest of 12%, find the worth of 20,000 pesos, which is due at the end of 9 months. So meaning this 20,000 pesos will serve as our future value, and the ones missing is our present value. Since all the given are good, P is the one we're finding out. So we can divide both sides by quantity of 1 plus IN, so that we could isolate P and we could get its value, but it's the same. I just shortcut it and just use the formula so that I won't forget it. The standard formula. So now first substitute 20,000 equals P times the quantity of 1 plus 0.212 times 9 over 12, or 1/3, and divide both sides by the quantity of 1 plus IN. So 20 divided by 1 plus IN, we could get our P will equal to 18,348.62 pesos. I'm sorry, I forgot to put the peso sign. So that would be our value for the present value. Now Number 4, determine the exact simple interest uh, on 5,000 pesos for the period from Jan 15 to now 28, 1992 is the rate of if the rate of interest is 22%. So first, since it's given a year, identify if it's a leap year or not. So how to identify if it's a leap year or not? Simply divide a year by 4. If it's equal to a whole number, then it's a leap year. But for example, if it equals to 498.5, then it's not a leap year. So then it's days, so we're not going to use months instead. Alright? Jan 15 to November 28. We're not going to use months instead. Instead, we'll use 365. Since it's asking for the simple exact or exact simple interest, meaning exact date. If it were approximate, then we'll use about 260. Now, let's move on. So calculate for the days. 31 minus 15 will be equal to 16 plus 28. This is for the exact, right? 31, 30, 31, 30, and so on. And then November 28, we'll just put 28 instead since it ended on November 28. So total, that would be 317. Add 1 because it's a leap year. Alright? Always add 1, not just to the numerator but the exponent, but the denominator as well. But if it were for approximate or ordinary, we'll just add 1 to the numerator. Alright? I'm sorry. Oh yes, for leap year. That is applicable only for leap year. Now solve for the exact simple interest for its future. So first, identify the given. That would be our P is 5,000 or present value pesos. I is 22% or 0.22. N is 318 over 366, which we solved earlier. Then using the formula I, exact interest. This symbolizes exact interest. So equals PIN. So it's not asking for a future value, so we'll use this instead. Alright? So IE or exact simple interest is equal to 5,000 times 0.22 times 318 over 366, and that would equal to 955.74. So this is our exact simple interest. If added to 5,000, that would equal to our future value or maturity value. So 5. A man wishes his son to receive 200,000 10 years from now. What amount should he invest if it will earn interest of 10% compounded annually during the first 5 years and 12% compounded quarterly during the 5 years? So a total of 10 years. So first, we'll calculate it backwards since it's asking for its present worth. At this rate, this would equal to 10% rate, and this part had equal to 12% compounded. So next, first identify the given. Our F final, or that would equal to I'm sorry, they didn't denote anything. So 200,000, and our rate or nominal rate is 10% or 0.1. Annually means 1 or yearly. That's the same thing. So T is equal to 5 years. Now that's all for the first question. So simply substitute F equals 200,000, P is unknown, which is our present worth at 5 years, over back 5 years ago. So 1 plus nominal rate over the mode of compounding times our N or MT, years times mode of compounding. So that would equal to 124 100,000 200 124,184.2646. So that would be our value at this his midpoint. So it's still not the one we're looking for. What should he invest first to get 200,000 at the end of 10 years? So that we're only halfway for it. So next, given is R2 or nominal rate 12% or 0.12. M2 is mode of compounding. Quarterly means 4 times a year. So T is 5 years again. So simply substitute. So F is equal F2 equals P2, then 1 plus I or interest rate times P times the quantity of 1 plus I raised to N. So 124,184.246 is equal to P 1 plus 0.12 all over 4, then times 4, which is our mode of compounding, times 5 years. So simply divide both sides by the quantity of 1 plus 0.12 all over 4, raised to 4 times 5, or that would be equal to 20. And we could get P2 is equal to 65,758.81. So our money needed, or his son needed money or present value to receive 200,000, and after 10 years is 65,758.81. So at the first year, that would be equal to 12% rate. Then the next year is equal to 10% rate, and we could get 200,000 pesos. So number 6, by the conditions of a will, the sum of 25,000 is kept of a girl to be held in trust by his guardian angel until it amounts to 45,000. When will the girl receive the money if the fund is invested at 8% compounded quarterly? So first, identify the given. That will be 25,000, our present value, 45,000 for our future value or maturity value. Our nominal rate is 8% or 0.08. Then compounded quarterly. From the word compounded, it's typically compound interest. So compounded quarterly, that means 4 times a year, or 4. So first, substitute. F is equal to P times the quantity of 1 plus I raised to N. And I is equal to rate over mode of compounding. Then N is MT or mode of compounding times time. And time is missing since it's asking for when will the girl receive the 45,000 pesos. So 45,000 is equal to 25,000 times the quantity of 1 plus 0.08 all over 4 raised to 4 times t, and t is unknown. So using calculator, we could easily get answer for shift solve. Just input this on the calculator and we could get this answer. And a way to solve it without using calculator, or to simplify it, I mean not using calculator, I mean how to solve it if you don't know how to use shift solve. So first, divide both sides by 25,000, then apply logarithm. And we know the rules of logarithm is the ratio is equal to the coefficient, then simply divide both sides by 4 ln times the quantity of 1 plus 0.08, and we could isolate the end, we could get its value that would equal to 7.42 years. So approximately that would, yep, 7.42 years. So number 7. At a certain interest rate compounded semi-annually, 5,000 will amount to 20,000 after 10 years. What is the amount at the end of 15 years? So the problem, if the nominal rate were given, we could easily get its value of 15 years, but unfortunately it's not a direct substitution. First, we need to compute its rate. So in the 5,000 principal, present value amount to 20,000 after 10 years. So the mode of compounding is semi-annually. Semi-annually means 2 times a year. So 2. So these are given, which I mentioned earlier. So 5,000 pesos. Then mode of compounding is 2, which is semi-annually. Then T1, 10 years. And R, or our nominal rate, is missing. The second time is 15 years and future value 1. So 20,000 pesos. So simply substitute. So F is equal to P times the quantity of 1 plus I raised to n. Then to divide 1,000 is equal to 5,000 times the quantity of 1 plus R all over 2 raised to 20, or 2 times 10. So we could get our R is equal to 0.143547. But in using calculator, I just shift stored the value. I didn't round off anything. Just in the paper, I round off something. But in calculating this for the future value in 15 years, I use shift store for the value of R. So using compound interest formula for the F2, so now we're computing for the 15 years. So F2 is equal to P, or our principal, times the quantity of 1 plus I raised to n. And simply substitute 5,000, our principal. Since all the given are good, we computed for the nominal rate, we could get its future value at 15 years. So 5,000 times the quantity of 1 plus 0.143547 all over 2 raised to 30, or 2 times 15. So our answer is, for the future value in about 15 years, after 15 years at a rate of 0.143547, so that would equal to 40,000.042. So this is our value, or future value, or maturity value at 15 years, at the end of 15 years at a rate of 0.143547. So in number 8, Jones Corporation borrowed 9,000 from Brown conversion on Jan 1, 1978 and 12,000 on Jan 1980. Jones Corporation made a partial payment of 7,000 on Jan 1, 1981. It was agreed that the balance would be amortized by two payments, one on Jan 1, 1982 and the other on Jan 1, 1983. The second being 50% larger than the first. If the interest rate is 12%, what is the amount of each payment? So unfortunately, I'm a bit still confused in solving this, so I leave it as blank. So I really don't have any solution for number 8. Although there are solutions in the internet, but still I can't copy it. I didn't want to write an answer that I don't know, so I'll still reflect on myself. And I hope in quiz 2 I could answer this problem or given again or repeated again. So a woman borrowed 3,000 to be paid after 1.5 years with an interest at 12% compounded semi-annually, and 5,000 to be paid after 3 years at 12% compounded monthly. What single payment must she pay after 3.5 years or 3.5 at an interest rate of 16% compounded quarterly? Settle the two obligations. So it's asking for how much will he pay in a single payment after 3.5 years. So first, compute for the F1 and F2. So principal 1, that would equal to 3,000. 1.5 years for time or 1.5. Interest rate at 12%, compounded semi-annually, meaning 2. So simply substitute. F1 equals 3,000 times the quantity of 1 plus 0.12, 12%, or all over 2 times raised to the power of 2 times 1.5. And that would equal to 3,573.05. Now in the next is for the F2. And that would be, our principal is 5,000. Time is 3 years. Compounded at 12%, our nominal rate, 12%. Compounded monthly, meaning 12. So simply substitute. So F2 is equal to P2 times quantity of 1 plus I raised to N. So 5,000 times. So remember I is rate all over mode, so I didn't explain it since I explained it on the earlier videos. I skipped a little bit. So 5,000 times the quantity of 1 plus 0.12 all over 12 raised to 12 times 3 since 3 years time. So that would equal to 7,153.81. Now the question it's asking is what single payment must she pay after 3.5 years at interest rate of 16% compounded quarterly to settle the two obligations. Meaning, from this point on, the first future amount or our F1 is wala gibayad aning 1.5. So inig-abot na diri Nya na po siya interest nga 0.16 compounded quarterly. So mo ni gipasabot sa problem. Then inig-abot niya diri mo to ni equal siya 3,573.05. Interest na po na siya. Then ang time niya 1.5 minus 3.5 years. So ang kaning iyang gidagan diri padong diri so mag-start na sa siya 0 diri padong unsa ni diri 2 is in 3.5 minus 1.5 is 2 years. While ang sa diri na pod ang katong 7,000 atong future value or atong F2 7,153.81. 153.81. So muna diri nya ang iyang rate Murang 0.12 over 12 sa first 3 years na niya. Sa diri padong diri. Alright? And mo equal na siya 7,000. Now, di pa man siya ibayad in kabutog 3 years. Paabton pa mag 3.5. Meaning i-minus ang difference sa panila. Then, ang rate na sad nga 0.16 all over 4. Or 16%. So, mo na ni. Then, compute for F3, our F3. So, F1 plus F2. Simply add. Now, I denote it as change in time. Since nausab naman sad siya. Nga rin naman sad siya. Padung diri. So, meaning nga rin na siya mag-start ag 0. So, counted as 0 na. Pero, ang value niya mo na ni. So, silbi mo rag mahug na ni nga atong principal. Pag-abot niya diri sa ikaduhang computation. So, simply substitute. So, F1 that would be 3,573.05. So, now, change in time. Muna niya akong gingon ganina nga, difference ani nila. So, ang kanina man sige compute niya ang pagpadagan padung diri. So, muna ako gidinaw tog change in time. Since 3.5 minus 1.5, 3.5 minus 3 years. So, good. Then, simply substitute 3,573.05 times the quantity of 1 plus 0.16 over 4 raised to the quantity of 4 times 3.5 minus 1.5 mo yung gidagan yung years padong 3. So, 1 ngari plus 153.81 times the quantity of 1 plus 0.16 over 4 raised to 4, then 3.5 minus 3. So, mo yan time sa diri ug diri. So, half year. So, our F3 is equal to 12,627.59. So, mo niya itong answer. So, mo niya ipasabot sa problem. Abot niya diri, wala gibayad kay hasta diri. Ibayad dapat ni kabot diri. In a single payment man. Interesa na sad kaduha. So, that's all and thank you. So, Mr. J. De La Cruz borrowed money from the bank. He received from the bank 1,342 and promised to pay 1,500 at the end of 9 months. Determine the single interest rate and simple interest rate and the corresponding discount rate, or often referred to the banker's discount. Now, so simply we have future value. Our present value, which is 1,342. Future value is 1,500. Now we have a formula that F minus P is equal to interest, or we have formula F is equal to P plus 1, or that will be equal to 158 for our interest. Then simply a simple formula of interest rate or simple interest is 158 all over the principal, which is 1,342, and we could get 11.77%. I multiplied it directly 100%, and when this is the value when I didn't multiply, right? So, using the formula for discount, I is equal to D all over 1 minus D. So, I derive it before substituting the values. So, 1, then simply distributive, 1 minus distributive property, and you could get this. Then, transpose those D the other sides. Then isolate, or factor out D. After factoring out, divide both sides so that we can isolate B and we can get its formula, or then 1 plus I. That will equal to I all over 1 plus I interest, simple interest, and simply substitute. So 0.1177 all over 1 plus 0.1177, and that would equal to 0.10533 repeated. Then times 100, we could get 100%, we can get 10.53%. So this is for the discount, the asking, and the simple interest. A man deposited 50,000 pesos in a bank account, 6% compounded monthly for 5 years. If the inflation rate of 6.5% per year continues for the period, will the effective protect the purchasing power of the original principal? So first, identify the given. This is our given. Then now, since the problem, the percent for this compounded monthly for 5 years, you can just substitute using compound interest, for we have an inflation rate to consider also, inflation rate. Now this formula is derived. I just googled it, so I am not really sure how to derive this formula. So first is make this, the effective rate is assumption of 1 year, rate of assumption in 1 year. So we need to uniform it, since we need to uniform our rate, since the other rate is 6.5 per year. So it's already more like the same as an effective rate state. So simply substitute 1 plus I, a quantity of 1 plus I raised to I minus 1, and 1 plus 0.06 over 12, then raised to 12 minus 1. So we could get our effective rate is 0.061677.8, or 0.6 point something percent per year. Now, okay na, per year na siya. So simply substitute. F is equal to P times quantity of 1 plus I all over 1 plus I inflation. So our N is 0, since we already used the mode of compounding in the effective rate. So simply substitute 50,000 times the quantity of 1 plus 0.06167778 all over 1 plus 0.065 raised to 5. So our answer is 49,225.994. Now it's asking for, will this effectively protect the purchasing power of the original principal? No, since the value of the original principal has decreased, so it didn't protect. Instead, it did that. So number 12. What is the future worth of 600 pesos deposited at the end of every month for 4 years? At the interest rate is 12% compounded quarterly. So at the end of every month for 4 years. So it's simply an ordinary annuity. So identify the given, 600. Then T is equal to 4 years. Interest rate our F is unknown. So first things first, we can't use 12% compounded quarterly, since the problem is, the 600,000 is deposited at the end of every month for 4 years. So simply our nominal rate is missing. So we just need to equate both sides to find our nominal rate. So the same value, that would give the same value of 12% compounded quarterly, that every month. So our rate is missing. So simply substitute. Formula, effective rate is equal to effective rate, then the formula. Then cancel out 1, negative 1, negative 1, 1. Then 1 plus R over 12, quantity of 1 plus R over 12 raised to 12 is equal to 1 plus 0.12 over 4 raised to 4. Now, using calculator, shift solve, we could get R is equal to 0.11882 or 11.882%. Now, we have the value for the rate at which we will 600 deposited at the end of every month for 4 years. So now simply substitute. So it's asking for the future worth of 600 pesos deposited every month, compounded every month for 4 years at a rate of 11.882%. So simply substitute 600 or our annuity times the quantity of 1 plus 0.1182 over 12 raised to the power of 12 times 4 minus 1 all over 0.1182 over 12. So this is the formula. So direct substitution na since na naman itong nominal rate. 4 at 12 for every month na siya at rate of 11.82. So we could get our future value is 36,642.83 after the end of 4 years. So sa sige niya guhulog og 600,000 at an interest rate of 11.82%. This is our future value. So a young woman, 22 years old, has just graduated from college. She accepts a good job and desires to establish her own retirement fund. At the end of each year thereafter, she plans to deposit 2,000 pesos in a fund at 15% annual interest. How old will she be when the fund has an accumulated value of 1 million pesos? So, first things first, identify what you need to use. So, from the problem, she deposited 2,000 yearly. So, meaning this is our A or annuity. Meaning this is an annuity problem. But now, there are 3 types of annuity. Deferred, ordinary, and annuity due. Now, how can we distinguish? Now, first things first. Annuity due is the beginning of payment at the beginning period. Second, a deferred annuity has a time interval. So before payment, there must be about 2 years before she pays the something time interval. Now, do we have a clue here at the end of each year, or an ordinary annuity is at the end of each period? So this is the same, just like the earlier problem, at the end of every month. So mean this is an ordinary annuity. This will serve as our clue word. So always set for clue word, especially when clue words, especially when dealing with formulas where they have different kinds of duties. Right? So first, identify the given. 2000 for A, our annuity. Then F is equal to 1 million pesos. So rate is 15% or 0.15. M is compounded annually or 1 year. Now it's asking for time. How old will she be when she receives or when she accumulated 1 million pesos? So time is unknown. So simply substitute. Using the formula of ordinary annuity for future value is equal to A times the quantity of 1 times quantity of 1 then quantity of 1 plus I raised to n minus 1 all over I. Then simply substitute. 1 million is equal to 2,000 then times the quantity of 1 plus 0.15 all over 1 then raised to t, then minus 1 then 0.15 all over 1. we could get 330.986 years, then rounded, that would equal to 31 years. So 31 years, the start of her payment. So sorry, the end of her payment. So from 1 to 31. So meaning it's asking how old will she be when she accumulated the value of 1 million pesos. So simply add her current age plus the total years he will accumulate 1 million pesos. So T is equal to 53 years. So 14. Mr. Reyes borrowed 600,000 at 12% compounded annually, agreeing to repay the loan in 15 equal annual payments. How much of the original principal is still unpaid after he has made 8 payment? So, meaning he paid at 8 payment. So, the rest is mo siya. Unpaid is 15 from 8 to 15. So, ato na subtract makakuha tag 7. So, assume 600,000. B is equal to 600,000. R is equal to 0.12 or 12%. M is compounded. Annually. Compounded annually. So, meaning 1. T is 15 or 15 years. Since kay annually man siya, kausa sa katuig niya, 15 annual payments man, meaning 15 years. So, atong P is 600,000. Cash flow diagram, wala siya hangtod 15. Then, mag-timeline na to 15 years. Our annual payment, kana 1, 2, 3. Now, first, identify for our annual payment. Di man ta pwede makasolve largo sa kwan, o bili na nato makuha. So, now, substitute. Using, I forgot to identify keywords. I-identify, kung saan ito gamitin dapat. So, since, annually man siya, agreeing to repay the loan, annually or at the end of each year is simply an ordinary annuity man. O siya jay time interval. O siya jay annuity due. Since annuity due is beginning sa sugod pa lang bayad ayun. While unlike sa kuha na pay marag club yun. Or more like, start pa lang niya 0 sa annuity due, bayad ayun. While sa kanini, counting gida na eh. Walay bayad sa 0, nag-abot na sa 1. So, muna ako pagsabot. So, first, simply substitute. So, compute for our annual payment first. So, annual payment is yung gidabayad sa 15 kabayranan niya. So, munang A, annual payment. So, our P is 600,000 yung giwang, yung kilo, pesos. Is equal to A, then times the quantity of 1 minus quantity of 1 plus 0.12 over 1, our mode of compounding, raised to negative 15. Since it's a principal formula, negative na ito ibutang dali. Negative 15 is 1. All over 0.12 over 1. So we could using calculator, shift solve, we could get a value of our annual payment is 88,094.54379 pesos. So mo na itong annual payment. Now, ang gipangutan naman ani is ang gidagan niya diri diri. Meaning ato na siya isubtract. So ang left unpaid, so pagkaabot og kawalo na paid naman siya, meaning 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, so 7. So may na so 1. Or pwede na sa subtract na largo, sorry kayo nagpanamano po ko marakog elementary. So P is equal to A times the quantity of 1 minus then quantity 1 plus I raised to n all over I, or interest rate. So 88,094.54379 times the quantity of 1 minus then quantity 1 plus 0.12 over 1 raised to, mo to kung gingon, ang left unpaid, since ang problem is nakabayad mo kuno siya sa 8 payments. So pila naman lang ang kuha nga wala pa niya mabayaran. So 15 minus 8 times T1, our mode compounding, which is annually negative. Ano siya kay kano siya principal may itong gamit. If future mabali na sad na siya kanina sad may mga positive. I'm sorry kalimot ko butang og negative diri. So og mga future value ni siya kanina sad ang kanina sa positive niya kanina sang negative 1, so minus 1 positive na negative tani siya dapat. Sorry. So anyway, let's proceed. So our left unpaid value, or from 9 to 15 terms, is 402,042.0502. So mo ni ang atong left unpaid sa pito ka hulugan or annual payments. M purchased a small lot in a subdivision paying 200,000 down payment and promising to pay 15,000 every 3 months for the next 10 years. The seller figured interest 12% compounded quarterly. So meaning may kalipatan every 3 months for the next 10 years. So meaning 12 divided by 3, that would equal to 4. So quarterly ragapon, compounded quarterly. So first question, letter A. What was the original price of the lot? So meaning present value ni siya kay original price man dili pa man ang future value. Mo pa na yang gipangutan na. Present value. So na naman tayo 200,000 nga down payment, i-add na lang na sa atong makuha diri. So simply substitute P is equal to A, our annual payment, times the quantity of 1 minus 1 out minus quantity of 1 plus I raised to negative n. Then simply substitute 15,000 times the quantity of 1 minus quantity 1 plus 0.12 over 4 raised to negative 4 times 10 or 40 all over 0.12 over 4. So we could get P or 346,721.5749. So mo ni ang left unpaid, wala pa ni nabayran. Gaagi pangunta na is what was the original price of the lot. Then i-add ni ang 200,000, so mo ni atong original price sa lot. Then mo ni atong cash flow diagram. So kay fukan man 10 years, then compounded quarterly, meaning 4 times 10, 40 kahulugan. Annual payment of 15,000. So proceed. If M missed the 12 payments, what must he pay at the time the 13th is due to bring himself up to date? So meaning iya bayaran ang sa gariwa siya nagbayad pa dong 1. Now ang 1 hangtod 13 iya bayaran. So meaning future amount, future value. Now wala man sa J time interval, wala sa J payment kanang beginning dayon kanang pagkakuan beginning bayadayon, so dili ni siya tigid siya masud ni nga problem sa annuity og deferred. Kaya deferred naman to time interval man pila pa ka years ang bayad, or igod not necessarily years but napay time interval nga dili mo bayad dayon ba. So next, F13 diba sa iyang bayranan ni kabot 3C equals A, quantity of A times the quantity of 1 plus I raised to n minus 1 all over I. And simply substitute using our given kaganina. Our annual payment is 15,000. Then times the quantity of 1 plus 0.12 all over 4 raised to 13 minus 1 over 0.12 over 4. So we could get 234,266.8567. Mo ni iyang value inig abot na sa 13. Kanang iyang total bayaran na since kay daghan mo siya gilakton 12 payments plus adding the payment na wala pa ni bayaran. Bayaran niya that would equal to 200,000. So ang total payment na dili niya ang annual payment hatag malipad, sir. So sorry kayo. Mo ni ang total payment ng abot niya ay 3C. Since kay wala man siya kabayad aning 15,000 for every for every payment period. So mo na ni. So C, after making 8 payments, M wished to discharge his remaining indebtedness by a single payment. At the time when the 9th regular payment was due, what must he pay in addition to the regular payment then due? So first is analyze. So M wished to discharge his remaining indebtedness, meaning payment at the time when 9th regular. So wish to discharge his remaining indebtedness. So padong bira, so it's asking for the present value. So what must he pay in addition to the regular payment then due? So P is equal to annual payment times the quantity of 1 minus and quantity 1 plus I raised to n all over I, or interest rate. Then simply substitute. Now 15,000 our annual payment times the quantity of 1 minus 1 plus 0.12 over 4 raised to negative. Sorry, nakabalimutan sa kugbot ang negative since P may itong gamit. 40 minus 9. So from diri padung diri pilay ang bayranan. Since he wish to discharge his remaining indebtedness man para mausara. So we can get our value is 300,006.43 pesos. So muna yung value after kanang payment sa regular 9 itingo po ng 40 sa LBU sa. So next, D. If M missed the first 10 payments, what must he pay in the 11th payment is due to discharge his entire indebtedness. So ang kaninga kuan maron siya combination sa question sa B o C. So first calculate yung value padong F11. Since daghan pa man siya payment so bali 10 payments man yung wala na bayaran, and then pag 11th payment due gusto niya i-discharge his entire indebtedness, bayaran na niya tanan. So F11 compute na annual payment times the quantity of 1 times quantity of 1 plus I raised to n minus 1. So, positive ni siya kay future amount may itong ipangita. Dire negative kay present man itong ipangita. Ang present value. So, simply substitute 15,000 plus quantity of 1 plus 0.12 over 4 raised to 11 minus 1 all over 0.12 over 4. So, muna itong value sa F11 future yung bayaran ni ka 11th payment. Kaya mo siya nagbayad ato sa first 10 payments. So, muna na yung total bayaran pag abot sa 11 kani. Now, ang padong 11 to 40. Sorry, nakalimot ko butang sa cash flow diagram. Now, sige lang ako lang i-discuss. So, ang 11 to 40 meaning minus na sa subtract na mo. So, P ang discharge will be iyan na bayaran tanan kausa. So, simply ato na siya i-add ang kani ug ang kani. So, first, formula. Present value is equal to annual payment times the quantity of 1 minus quantity 1 plus I raised to negative n. Then, simply substitute 15,000 atong annual payment times the quantity of 1 minus 1 plus 0.12 over 4 then raised to negative, then 40 minus 11. Since ang tanan niyang indebtedness man pila man nakabayran, meaning ang iyaning mga total nga bayranan niya iya sa bayad. So P is equal to 287,826.8188 pesos. So simply add iyang total payment niya sa future 11 pagkabot og 11 og ang mga nahabilin nga payment niya nga kani. So ang total payment niya is 479,943.7542. So mo na iyang total payment. Pag up nga bayranan da sa iyang 11 nga miss nga payments og sa first 10 payments nga iyang na-miss, then 11 due plus sa iyang nahabiling nga bayranan if mabayranan ni, so mo ni iyang total payment. So 16, a man approaches the ABC loan agency for 100,000 to be paid in 24 monthly installments. So meaning 24 monthly installment, that will be monthly yung pagbayad, the 2 years ang time. So the agency advertises the interest rate of 1.5% per month. They proceed to calculate the amount of his monthly payment in his following manner. So ang gipangutanan diriya is pila ang iyang effective rate. So when we say effective rate, ang interest rate sa usa ka year given at 1 year. So first mo siya ang mga given or calculated na daan. So amount requested 100,000 pesos, then credit investigation 500, credit risk insurance 1,000, so a total of 101,500. Then interest, so interest niya is 1.5% per month, then 24 ka installment or 24 ka bayranan, then yung total nga bayranan, so 101,500 times 24 times 0.015 or 1.5% is equal to 36,540 pesos. So i-add na nato, so that would money yan total owed. Now ang gibutang diriya is payment is equal to 138,040 over 24 is equal to 5,751.67 pesos. So although man siya gibot niyan og money ang annual payment niya, pero klaro naman kayo no, kay since gi-divide na gud siya sa 24, kanang iyang total nga bayranan i-divide og 24, so mo na niyang so meaning mo na iyang bayran kada 24 kada buwan sa sud sa 24 ka payments. So first is the formula. So principal is equal to A. So mag-base lang ta sa atong given using the formula. So klaro sa kayo nga ordinary na sad ni kay walay gipang state nga at the beginning nga magbayad din siya or na time interval or pila ka years before anay siya magbayad. So dili siya deferred, dili po siya annuity due, meaning hari kita sa ordinary annuity. So P is equal to A times quantity of 1 minus quantity 1 plus I raised to negative n on gihapon kalimutan ko, sorry. So 100,000 is equal to 5,751.67 times 1 minus quantity of 1 plus I raised to negative 24. Pwede po sad ni nato i-over siya og 12. Kaya atong compounding ani is monthly man, meaning 12 sa usa ka year. So makuha na sa tag mga nominal rate nga 0.33 something mabalik, pero inig abot diri since effective rate man ta. Makuha na sa tag mag-divide na sa tag 12 diri so hassle na kayo, mas may pag-idiretso na lang yun nanin lang kay come up from gapon tag diretso naman, and then lisod sad ang error di kalik yan ang kalipat. So simply substitute effective interest rate effective interest rate, so mo siya assumption 1 year, mo nang wala siya naka-times og pila ka years since di-assume na siya nga 1 at best. So effective rate is equal to 1 plus quantity of 1 plus I raised to m. Although na pa na siya na t dira pero na lang gidinot kay ang t na to ana i-assume na to 1. So minus 1 then effective rate interest rate is equal to 1 plus ano yato na ko ang value ganina nga 0.02758 raised to 12. Now mo na akong gibot ang ano, since solving for effective rate needs only 1 year, therefore we'll use 12 instead. Since monthly man iyang bayranan, so sa ka tuig, 12 ra ka bayranan. So our answer is 0.36602 times 100%, that would equal to 38.602%. So man ang value sa iyang effective rate nga gipangita. So 17. A new office building was constructed 5 years ago by a consulting engineer from at that time the firm obtained the bank loan for 10 million pesos with 20% annual interest rate compounded quarterly. The items for the loan collected for equal quarterly payments for the 10 years period with the right of repayment at any time without penalty. So, due to internal changes in the firm, it is now proposed to refinance the loan through an insurance company. The new loan is planned for a 20-year item term with an interest rate 24% per annum compounded quarterly. The insurance company has a one-time service charge of 5% for the balance. The new loan also calls for an equal quarterly payment. So, now question A. What is the balance due to the original mortgage or principal of all payments have been made through a full 5 years? So, ang iyang gipangutana is the original mortgage principal of all payments have been through a full 5 years. So, first things first, ato ipangitaon anay ang annual payment. Now, ang kaning 100,000 mo ni siya atong present value nga gi-loan sa bayranan sa 10 years. So, 10 years nga bayranan. Now, ang gipangutana is made through a full 5 years pa. Meaning, di ta mo agig direct substitution, daghan pa. Silbi mo, duha pa ta ato agian. Una ko na nato ang annual payment, which is kani 10 million is equal to A times the quantity of 1 minus 1 plus 0.2 over 4 raised to negative 40 all over 0.2 over 4. Then we could get our annual payment, or let's denote as A1, is equal to 582,781.6117 pesos. Now, dire, i-substitute na to. Since dire, pwede na siya direct substitution. Then, makuha na to ang original mortgage niya or principal. Full 5 years, through a full 5 years. So, present is equal to annual payment times quantity of 1 minus quantity 1 plus 0.2 or 20% over 4 compounded quarterly minus negative 5 times 4 or 20 rigapon. May equal atong principal og 7,262,747.03 pesos. So, mo ni atong original mortgage or principal through a full 5 years. So, next, B. What will be the difference between equal quarterly payment in the existing management and the revised proposal? So, mo na siya dapit ang revised proposal, then mo na yung existing. So, first, gi-state man diha sa revised proposal na ay 20 years. Pang-identify natin itong given ha. 20 years term with an
interest rate of 24% per annum or compounded quarterly, magapon increase. Then insurance company has one-time service charge of 0.5%, meaning na additional nga 5%. I-times ang kani or kato sa 5 years, i-times to na to 1 plus 0.05 ay da sa service charge, 5%. Now, for A2, compute na to ang annual payment sa ikaduha nga nausab na, gi-revise. Then, dili na siya ang mo nga ato na siya gininewt og A2 og A1 since lahi-lahi man siya og abot diri sa nominal rate. Ang sa una kay 20%, din ang sa revise is 24%. Though ang ilang mode of compounding is pareha, 4 ilang mode of compounding quarterly, but naglahi man. So mo nang atong gidenote og A1 ang kani percent, then A2 pud ni. So simply substitute na naman tayo value sa P, which is atong isolve ganina for a full 5 years itong i-revise na. So 7,625,884.348 pesos is equal to A2 or annual payment to 1 minus quantity of 1 times A2 times quantity of 1 minus 1 plus quantity 1 minus quantity 1 plus 0.24 over 4 compounded quarterly man minus negative 4 then 20 years. May changes mo nang mag-forget kay siyempre lahi naman ang bayranan diri kay dapat magkausaban. Ang time is lahi while ug ang iyang nominal rate, so mo forget, then all over 0.24 over 4. And then atong A2 is 461,919.194 pesos. So calculate the difference or change or kausaban. So ang kausaban is A1 minus A2. 582,781.6117 minus 461,991.194. Then our change or calculate the difference in A is 120,862.41676. Now, ang question is where asa may nakaginin siya tarong ang revise or wala? Now the question is, the answer is ang revise since dako pa siya ang iyang time or ang iyang end og i-cash flow ni nato. I'm sorry, nagkulimot ng butang cash flow. Ang atong cash flow is 80 while under 40. Then ang iyang annual payment is 461,919.194. So mo gini mas nakaginansya sila diri dapat kay mas dako ang end niya. At the same time, although mas dako ang annual payment diri pero gamay raman siya, 40 raman kabayranan while ang sa diri 80 man kabayranan. Sorry, nakalimot ko butang og cash flow pero dapat na ito magbutang. And that's all, sir, and thank you.